Hey guys, welcome back. All right, today we're going to revisit the Sharpin, except this is the Sharpin unit that supports the Switch and the PC. So the last one we reviewed was the Sharpin Ultra. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Sharpin, you can go back and watch that video, and I'll have a link above where you can go do that, and then you can come back and watch this one. But this one out of the box supports the Nintendo Switch or a PC. So really all you have to do is just wire everything up, and it comes with encoders that support the Nintendo Switch. So as long as you plug those connections into the right ports on the encoder, of which they give you the directions to do so, you can enjoy your whole Pinball FX3 catalog from your Nintendo Switch on your Sharpin Ultra on a really nice 22-inch HD monitor, which will display at 1080p. So this is a great solution for someone that doesn't have a lot of space. Now Sharpin has moved on, and they even have a bigger unit now. I can't remember what they're calling it, maybe the King. So they're gonna have a full-size unit as well, but these are really, really nice for someone looking to save space. So without, talking forever, let's bring the camera in, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of how this thing performs with the Nintendo Switch, how it all connects, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, if you decide to do the Switch version of the Sharpin, you're gonna wanna bring your own Pro controller just to do basic navigation. Now you can go up and down in the menus with the buttons and left and right, and even enter and back, but to me, it's much easier to just use this.
So you're probably wondering what makes this build different than other Sharpin builds. Well, it's really this SJ@JX encoder. It is basically designed to support both the Nintendo Switch and a PC, and they give you this button setup for Nintendo Switch where it shows you exactly where to plug the physical connections into the encoder board. This is important because if you do this right, everything's gonna work. Your flippers, your nudge, your up and down, your left, right, your enter and back will all work. So it's really a hardware solution versus a software solution. So as long as you follow the diagram, you really can't mess this up. And then at that point, all you have to do is just set up the encoder board to act as a controller on your Nintendo Switch, which is super simple to do. And at that point, you're ready to go. Okay, so if you look inside the system, you'll see I also included a Dayton audio transducer. Now this is a bass shaker, and I mounted it to the side because this bottom panel, it's kind of like this sort of flimsier wood. So I wanted to make sure it wasn't, vibrating the whole cabinet. This seems to work out great, and it will actually make a rumble effect when things are on the playfield. So in order to get the audio though, to the speaker system, I had to use this converter, which takes HDMI in from the Switch, and then it passes HDMI out to the TV, but then strips out the audio to these two RCA connections. And then that will allow me to pass low frequencies to the transducer, and I'll also have included a right and left speaker. Now, there are speakers that Sharpin gives you. They're not bad or anything, but I'm kind of anal when it comes to audio, so I wanted to include something just a tad bit better. And then you'll see there's an amp on the back. This isn't all cleaned up yet, but if I were to mount it, I'd mount it to the back here. It's the Lepy LP838. It's sold under various different names, but I'll have a link in the description to it. And the reason why I use this one is because it has a low pass super bass filter thing right there on the back, which would be passed to the transducer, and then it has just a normal left and right channel, so that this super bass will just pass low frequencies to that transducer, so I'm not getting unnecessary sounds through it. And then the great thing about this amp is you can independently adjust the bass, which is to the transducer, and then the normal volume, treble, and bass to the right and left speaker. As far as gameplay, it's powered by the Nintendo Switch, so the performance is great because you're running it off the Switch itself. You're just really using the 22-inch HD monitor as the display. And then you're using the encoder board as your controls, so what would be your controls on your, Pro controller are just passed to the encoder board to the buttons provided by Sharpin. So it works awesome, and you have full access to your whole Pinball FX3 library. So as you can imagine, if you're someone that has a Switch, doesn't have a PC, this is a great option for you. You could also do a PC as well, but as far as like a simple and easy to use method, it can't get much easier than this. It's basically a plug-and-play solution. All right, guys, that about wraps up this update video on the Sharpin. Now, keep in mind, we looked at the Sharpin Ultra before, so if you want to refer back to a more full review, you can go back to that. Now, there's a little bit more involved there because you have an Android box. You can download all different things off the Google Play Store, so you have access to a bunch of stuff. Now, in this solution, you're really dependent on bringing sort of your own system, whether that be a PC or the Nintendo Switch. So you're limited to whatever is offered on the Nintendo Switch platform or a PC. But that might be fine, and the other cool thing about that is from a graphical fidelity standpoint, as far as how those graphics are going to look, it's going to be a big bump up from the Sharpin Ultra, which uses like graphically reduced versions of the games that are available on the Android Google Play Store. So there is a big difference. Now, if you're interested in what I looked at, the SHARPIN Switch-PC version, you can see it's here on the website. I'll have a link in the description. It looks like he's got some lead times of 2 to 3 weeks right now, so just keep that in mind if it's something you're interested in. And the kit itself just contains more of the cabinet, the buttons, the encoder board, the speakers. Now keep in mind, I actually upgraded the speakers, so I'll have links in the description to what I did. Then there's the 22-inch monitor, the decals, the side rails, the screw is, and the obviously the instruction manual. But the update I did, you know, with the speakers, I'm really anal about sound. I'm never happy with it. It comes with these 2 small speakers, which are fine. It's all self-contained. My solution makes it a little bit more complex, but it sounds a lot better. So anyways, there are tons of ways to play these pinball machines right now. There's Arcade 1-Up, there's At Games, there's Toy Shock, there's Well Played Toys, there's DIY kits. But if you're limited on space, and you want to get started with a nice, cool little tabletop solution, I think the Sharpin does something really neat. And now they have that full-size cabinet that he's trying to put out. I don't really have a whole lot of information on that, so maybe look at Wicked Gamer and Collector. I know he did a video on that one. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about the Sharpin. I really like that it's powered by the Switch. I like that you can bring your own PC too as well. It gives you options for doing different things. And I also like that if you're space limited, it's a pretty cool solution. But that's it, guys. Put your comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. That's it for now, guys. We will see you on the next one.